who's awesome? Mohammed from Qatar. Why is that? He donated so many video games to us, it's ridiculous. Thank you, Mohammed. You're more than meets the eye.
Autobots, we must stop Megatron. Roll out!
Oh man, so if you haven't already guessed, this is Transformers, exclusively for the PS2. And sorry about the singing, Mohammed, but we thank you. And by the way, you did hear me right, this is just Transformers. There's no string of subtitles to follow it, no Beast Wars, no movie tie-ins, just Transformers. Released in 2004, this game is loosely based on the Armada animated series that was running at the time. Although, even if you've never watched it, the plot here doesn't really deviate much from what you'd expect. It's just good old Optimus Prime and the Autobots versus Megatron and the Decepticons, battling for Energon cubes, and there's lots of robots exploding and turning into vehicles and making those awesome sound effects. So essentially, Transformers is a third-person shooter where you can choose between Optimus Prime, Hotshot, or Red Alert, and embark on your quest to stop Megatron and his massive army of disposable Decepticlones from their usual planet-eating antics, with the help of a wide variety of collectible mini-cons scattered throughout the stages. So these are add-on weapons like missiles and proximity mines, or support items like wings and stat boosts, or 8-track players, or fuzzy dice, you know, all that good stuff you'd want to pimp out your Autobot. You can equip 4 of them at a time, and they're easily customizable in between levels, or by heading back to HQ via various warp points in the stages. So the gameplay in this reminded me a bit of the old MechAssault game for Xbox, but just a bit simpler. You'll do a good deal of circle strafing and clumsily hopping around, and actually some of the platforming moments are kind of brutal in a bad way. Man, you don't want to know how many times I fell off this stupid temple. But in general, the game controls fairly smoothly while you're in robot form, especially in combat, and there's plenty of carnage to keep your trigger fingers happy, not to mention some pretty epic boss fights. Transforming into vehicles isn't so smooth, unfortunately. Usually it's not an ability that you'll want to use for fun, but simply out of necessity to drive over ravines, or maybe to speed up any of the backtracking you end up doing to grab collectibles, or maybe if you get lost in the expansive levels. But in general, this is a fairly well-polished game that should satisfy Transformers fans, and it also includes a wide variety of data collectibles, including concept art or even PSAs from the old cartoons. The Minicon customization is also good for keeping the action fresh, although it definitely would have been nice to have more characters to choose from. But for some straightforward robo-carnage, you can't go too wrong with this one. Autobots, roll out!